Hey friends, welcome back to another Yoga for Jiu Jitsu video. I know in an ideal world it shouldn't happen, and I'm sure it never happened to you, but sometimes we are late to class and you come late for Jiu Jitsu class, maybe the warm-up already started or already happened, and the instructor is like, oh, just warm up real quick and then join us. And so some of us just don't know what to do. And it can be very dangerous. I have lots of friends that just jumped into training or rolling without being warmed up and then had some pretty severe injuries. So I want to avoid that this happens to you. And I also, of course, want to avoid that this happens to me. So today I will show you my personal, just a couple of minutes warm-up routine that I do when I, for example, come to a class where it's just for open mat. We call this marathon roll, and where you basically show up at any time and there's a bunch of people rolling already, maybe for like a 1 or 2 hour session, and you just show up and you have to warm up. Please take a few minutes to warm up. Maybe this routine helps you to just feel safe, warmed up, and ready to roll hard. Let's do it. Let's get started in tabletop onto all fours. So the hips are right above the knees, the shoulders above the wrists, and I take a couple of minutes to warm up my wrists first. So come onto your toes, send the hips back, stretch out the feet. Move forward as far as you can, stretch out the wrists, externally rotate the arms, send the hips back, forward, back. I'm trying to keep this really short because oftentimes it's less than 5 minutes. I might explain some more details, so when you do this on your own, it's usually faster. Forward again. Now the fingertips pointing away from each other. Lean to your right, to your left, a couple more left and right. So especially if you're blue belt and above, wrist locks are a thing. I personally really like wrist locks and I go for them a lot. And I noticed that you just have so much more range of motion if you're doing those wrist warm-ups. Not saying that you shouldn't tap, but oftentimes people go for a wrist lock and then it's not as tight for you and maybe you can escape then or so. So I can really recommend that. Now bring the backside of your hands on the ground. Keep the arms straight, send the hips back. And maybe you have an office job, you're sitting at your computer all day and then you want to go to Jiu Jitsu after training. And you also need that grip strength, you need the wrists mobile. Oftentimes unpredictable things happen in Jiu Jitsu and it's just so important to be warmed up. Really, I can't stress this enough. I never got a very severe injury from Jiu Jitsu. Of course, like your finger here and there, your thumb gets stuck in a gi or I don't know, something with the knee or the ankle. Of course that happens, but no like major injury or so, or nothing where I feel like, man, I should have warmed up before. That you're on the backside of your hands, start to make a fist with your hands. At least try as good as you can. Open the hands, fist. Open, make a fist. A couple more. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the wrists should be warmed up. Shake them out. Come onto the heels. The next thing I will warm up is my feet. So I basically stretch out the tops of my feet because I love ankle locks. I always go for them. I like knee bars and all kinds of leg attacks, and especially at my gym that I currently train, there's a lot of really good guys that go for the legs a lot. So I want to keep this warmed up and smooth and open. So you lift the knees up, you lean back, maybe you can take the hands off the ground and then you start to bounce a little bit up and down. You can of course keep the fingertips on the ground too. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, find a plank. Actually, find a downward facing dog first. Bend the knees a lot, send the hips back. So now I want to open up the shoulders, strengthen the shoulders, warm everything up, but don't overdo it so that you feel tired. So find a downward facing dog here, modification with the knees bent, push the chest through, maybe straighten the legs. Now walk your hands to the back of the mat, find the forward fold, give your hamstrings some time to open up. Just hang out there for a little bit. Interlace your hands behind your back, move the arms and hands up and over your head. Release them down. Find a squat. Oftentimes, after sitting on a chair all day, this is challenging. So take a moment to find a squat. You will be here a lot too. Usually just moving through a squatting position, but it's very natural in Jiu Jitsu. Now walk the hands forward, find plank pose. And now keep the arms straight, only lower the chest down so you create the space between the shoulders, that valley, and then you push back up. You lower, lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then push the ground away. Squeeze, push. Let's do 3 more. Find a side plank on the right. Lift your hips up high. Lower the hips down. Lift up. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Other side. Just keeping it easy but effective. Lower down. Lift. Lower. Lift. Last one. And release. Set the knees down. Extend or step the right foot forward. Move the hips forward and start to find that bounce again, where you're bouncing forward and down. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now the last one, on this side at least, find that open twist, extend both arms away from you, rotate to the right, lengthen out through the spine, reach your arms, both arms up and over your head, release down, other side, step the left foot forward, start to bounce, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find that open twist. Straighten both arms. Lengthen out through the spine. Both arms up and over your head. And release. Now the last one I do is I come to a seat. Bring the feet together. This one is called butterfly pose. You grab the feet and you fold forward and down. Kind of gives the hips some time to open up, especially the groin area, the inner thighs. Tuck your chin to the chest. You can also find this. This is something we do a lot. That's what I did in judo a lot when I was very young, trained judo, or in sports in school, or this is a good one too. Jiu-Jitsu warm up, why not? Or just fold forward. Now the last one for the shoulders, reverse tabletop, lift your hips up. And then shift the hips forward, set them all the way down, keep the hands where they're at, inhale, lift the chest up, and exhale, bend your arms. I recommend checking out my Yoga for Jiu-Jitsu classes. There's full classes on mobility, for example, hip mobility, hip flexibility, ankle flexibility as well. Of course, all my other yoga classes are perfect for Jiu-Jitsu as well. Even if they're not called yoga for Jiu-Jitsu, they're still really good in addition to your practice before or after or on rest days. And of course, check out my yoga for Jiu-Jitsu stretching routine that I do every time after training. Slowly release, find the seat, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms. Go light in the first round, especially when it's just open mat rolling, or just hop into training now with some technique or some drills. So take it easy first and then slowly turn the level up. It's nothing against hard rolls, but it's all need to be safe. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.